Bob here, Skidoo Ambassador, and today I'm over at a friend's house and we're going to install a 1+1 seat and backrest on this Gen 4 Skidoo right here. I noticed when we tried to look on YouTube that there was a lot of information on the previous chassis, but relatively little on the new Gen 4 chassis. So today we're going to walk you through putting on the new 1+1 seat and the associated backrest assembly. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is drill 3 holes to mount these backrest brackets, approximately right here. This hole has a mark in the tunnel, and actually the other holes are also pre-punched, but they're hidden by the decals. So we'll go ahead and drill those after we get the first hole drilled. We're going to start with a pilot drill bit here just to drill a small hole in the tunnel. Okay, the final hole is drilled with a 13/32 drill bit. Now we need a vacuum cleaner, man. Alright, we have our 3 holes drilled in the tunnel. This hole and this hole were pre-marked with an X. We couldn't find the X for this hole down here behind the decal, even after we removed part of the decal. So we basically mounted the bracket with this hole and this hole, and then we verified where to drill this hole with using the bracket as a template, and now we have our 3 holes drilled. Now before we put the bracket on here permanently, we're going to put some clear vinyl over this area right here to try to protect the finish of the tunnel and the rest of the decal. We have installed the protective vinyl now. We've just made a template and we laid out a piece of vinyl here that's going to protect the tunnel powder coating when we put this bracket on. Now we have 3 of these inserts right here that we have to slip in through the back of the tunnel, and one of them, the forward one right here, is going to have a big flat washer on it, and this is all on the back side of the tunnel. It's going to come up through this hole. Alright, 3 inserts are in. Alright, we've got the bracket installed. We used a little Loctite on the 3 fasteners to make sure that they'll stay snug. And we drew these up and torqued them to spec. Alright, we've put the uprights in our installed brackets, and now we're attaching this backrest cushion right here. And we'll put this other upright in here and get it set up, and then we'll attach 2 more bolts here. This is pretty simple, and then this whole backrest assembly will be together. Okay, working on the backrest, before you do tighten up these 4 bolts, you want to only do one side and then slide this plastic insert, this cover, in between the 2 uprights, and then put the last 2 bolts in, and this will all fit into place. It's kind of tricky because this plastic sits on the outside of the uprights, but yet slips into a couple of tabs right here and here. Alright, now these are the hand grips / armrests, and we need to take, this one is done. It's got the grip here. This is the hand grip portion right here, and we had to install this, and due to a lot of editing and cussing and swearing, we won't show you that part. But what you need to do is, the part comes like this. You need to spread this apart and slide this on here. We tried water, it didn't really work or help much. we found that twisting it as we bring it all the way down onto here worked the best, and then roll this piece back, because you have to put this bracket and screw in here to hold this together, and then bring the grip back up over the top of it. That's good. All right, before we finish up with the backrest assembly, we're going to install the 1+1 seat in here. This is a Gen 4 wide body with electric start, and it's got this raised area right here on the battery box, or the battery cover. So the back of the 1+1 seat will go in here. If you've got another style like the Gen 4 narrow body and you don't have this raised piece, you have to put a link connector in right here in this position, and there are a pair of longer screws that come with this link protector in the seat kit. So if you don't have this raised portion, you need to put this link piece on here for this step. All right, we've got the 1+1 seat on. It just slips on like the original seat, except for in the back here's a little tab that slides into that slot on the battery cover. All right, we got the seat on, and now we're going to put the backrest back in. And from here, now we're going to measure the height where we want this for the passenger and install the hand grips. So we've got this final assembly here just to figure out what height we want and then attach these. All right, we're going to put the armrests on next, and they actually slide up and down, and there's several holes here. So you select where you want based on the passenger that you're using and get them lined up. I'm using the upper one, and then put the cover on, and then put in these two bolts here and tighten it down. All right, we've got the armrests installed, and now we've taken the backrest assembly off the sled because we have to put these trim pieces in right here. And that's the final step. Just set these into position. There's 4 screws. Lock these down, do the other side here, and basically, oh, there's a couple of self-tapping screws up here that go in the top of the trim piece right here. In this area, there's a little hole right here, and that just taps into the back cover of the backrest. And that's it. All right, here we are. Everything's assembled, installed. It looks great. My friend is ready to ride with his daughter on the back, and we'll see you out on the trails.